Hello, everybody. This is Baphomet, and today we are making a Rainbow Six Siege operators tier list. Uh, at the moment, it is still year 5 season, or not year 5. God, what? Year 7 season 1. Jeez, haven't played this game in a long time. It's year 7 season 1. I just got back into the game after a really long break from it, and I feel like I've played enough of the new season to make a correct assessment of how good the operators are. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the S is operators that are pretty much a must pick. Um, so we can just knock a few of these out. Thatcher has like an 80% ban rate for a good reason. He's just way too strong, can clear so much utility. Um, really effective. There's a reason why he has such a high ban rate. And then the second one, Jaeger, still the most popular defender. Not as effective as he used to be because of all the nerfs, but he is still very good, regardless. Um, I really should have done this in order. Now I'm kind of all jumbled up. Let's just, yeah, we'll actually we'll just come back to him later. But Sledge is a very solid A, if not S tier operator. He's one of the best entry fraggers in the game, I'd say. Just because, he always has been. The SMG-11 nerf didn't really do too much. The only way they could kill Sledge is if they took away his frags. I feel like that's the only thing they could do to make Sledge worse. Well, not to make him worse, but to make him dead. But I think he's not on the same level. No, he's. I'll put him in A for now. I'm so indecisive. Smoke, same thing as Sledge. He's just always been good, and they were gonna do that nerf where sorry, where he dealt damage to himself standing in his own gas, and then the community kind of freaked out about that, and they had a right to freak out, but not to the extent that they did. But I'm still happy that there was no Smoke nerf, because Smoke is one of the best anchors, still has been for like the entirety of the game's life. Mute, Mute is really versatile, but the Jammer nerf I really don't like, because I play a lot of Mute. I will be honest. I'm kind of sad about the Mute Jammer nerf when I heard that that was a thing. But he's still a very solid B pick, I think. You can still pick Mute and no one would be mad. Thermite, now that they gave Thermite smokes and Ace doesn't have him anymore, I feel like he's S tier. No, there's no way he's S tier. I'd say A tier. I think Thermite's a very solid A tier. He can open up 2 large walls, and he has smokes to cover his own plant. His 5.56 has a pretty good time to kill, although it has a very low rate of fire. Has access to an ACOG and a 2x. I like running the 2x. But yeah, he's just very solid A tier pick. I feel like we're gonna have to go a bit faster. We're 4 minutes in. Ash. Ash is really not in a good spot right now. I Ash's guns kind of suck in comparison to other entry fraggers, and she just doesn't have the soft destruction capability as Sledge, and Sledge um just has better guns than Ash. So I I I think Ash is like pretty bottom tier. That's a thing that I've seen a lot of R6 content creators talk about, is that Ash is not that good anymore. because other entry fraggers like Sledge, Zoff, um, and among others have just out they're just outshining Ashe at the moment. And honestly, I'm kind of happy about that. I hate Ashe Rush players. So so frustrating. I don't miss those days at all. Pulse, he's very situational. He's like his gadget, um, his gadget is so good, but his gun is so bad. So you can realistically only get a guaranteed kill with the C4. So he's just very situational. You have to have like a setup pre-placed C4 spot, and the enemy team has to like not drone you out. You have to actually roam effectively. Hold on. Okay, yeah, there we go. Actually, you got to be good to play Pulse is the thing, and he's also very situational. So I think a C is very warranted. Castle, I actually have been playing a lot more Castle since they gave him the 1.5, although that was back in what, year 5, year 6. They gave him the 1.5 on his UMP. He has a pocket shotgun, and now he has 4 panels. I think Castle is really good at um if you just put it in the if you just put your barricades in the right spots and make the attackers work for that map control. Castle is really good. Um Obviously he's not an A tier. What am I doing? He's not as good as these. He's a bit more situational. But I feel like it's kind of the same with Mute. You can pick him and people will be like, it's cool. You have a castle. It's not too bad. Monty, he's a shield op. I don't know what else to say. He's a shield op. It's not he's not gonna be that good. Although he's not completely F tier. There are some situations where he's really good, like Bank, for example. Monty's really good on Bank. Um, Twitch is super good, honestly. Since Thatcher is always banned, I'd say Twitch is like pretty up there. Not quite S tier, I think. Actually, no, they gave her normal drones, so I feel like, yeah, she can actually drone stuff out. Oh, and her shock drones can jump. Her shock drones can jump now. There we go. I can't talk. Since they can jump now, I feel like Twitch is a deserved S. Also, the F2 is an absolute monster of a gun. There's that too. Doc and Rook, they're not that good. They used to be good. It's just like Ashe. They used to be good. Now they're not. The only thing Rook has going for him is that 2x scope on defense for the all iconic spawn peak. But for new players picking Rook, you know, it's understandable, but he's just really not that good right now. He just, yeah, I don't really have to explain it that much. Fuse, I've actually, yeah, I've actually been playing a bit of Fuse, and he's really fun. The AK-12, best gun in the game, highest DPS gun in the game with a really nice rate of fire, has access to an ACOG and a 2x. But like Pulse, he's kind of situational. You can't really bring him on that many sites. He can fuse through reinforced walls, although that was a change they made a while ago, I think. Back in like the start of year 6, I think. But he can do that, but you can realistically only play him on sites where there's a lot of vertical pressure, uh, like play. So, like, if you were going to bring a sledge, you can also bring a fuse and bring breaching charges to fuse the defenders into unsafe spots and then open up the floor with breach charges. But other than that, he's just not that good. He's good on like consulate and cafe, places with a lot of windows, a lot of hatches. Glaz is kind of useless. Realistically, he provides nothing. He just sits outside. The job of a Glaz is to sit outside the building and try and get one or two free kills from the outside from unsuspecting enemies. And that is just not a consistent strategy. It works. I have a friend that plays Glaz religiously, and he there are moments where he pops off, and there are moments where he gets 0 KP the whole game. And it just, I want to put Glaz higher, but he's really, realistically, an F tier operator. Tachanka, Tachanka is just worse Smoke and Goyo. Tachanka's not that good. They gave him his deployable shield back a while ago. I do remember that. But other than that, Tachanka's not good. He's just not. The DP27 has some destructive capability, but it's not all too important in the grand scheme of things. Smoke has a shotgun, and his utility is better. Kapkan's probably the best trap operator right now, since he can actually kill. If an enemy is not watching for a Kapkan trap and you stack 2 on the same doorway, it insta-kills a 3-speed. I'm pretty sure. And it downs a 2-speed. So I'd say Kapkan is pretty good, but I don't know if I can bring myself to put him in B tier. Like, I really do not like trap operators, and I don't know if I want to put him this high. Whatever. It's fine. Kapkan, B tier. Blitz. I don't know what else to say. It's Blitz. He's an Elo inflated champ. Not champ. Elo inflated operator. God, I've been playing too much League. IQ. They gave IQ a buff to where she can ping utility through walls, and that is honestly super good for solo queue. I have not been playing IQ, but some of my friends have, and they have been getting very good results with IQ. Jaeger, we went over this before, S tier operator. Bandits, pretty solid A tier. They made the change where it's easier to bandit trick. You can get the prompt to put a battery on a wall when a battery's already on it, just so it's easier to bandit trick, which honestly, that's good on them. Bandit was really getting outshone by Kaid, which we'll come back to later. And honestly, I'm glad they buffed him because I love using the MP7 and just playing Bandit. It's fun op. Buck. The problem with Buck is that he doesn't have frags, and Sledge does. That's that's just the whole thing. That's the beginning and the end of it. Actually, no, there's a bit more to it. Buck can open up the holes faster than Sledge, but he doesn't have frags. Oh, he can also do it from below and from range. So you pick Buck if you want a safer Sledge, but Sledge has frags, Buck doesn't. So I think Buck just goes in B tier. It's not really an equal trade-off, if I'm being honest. Most people would say Sledge is better than Buck. Frost is not that good. Kind of elo inflated, like much better in low elo. Because you're realistically only going to get people in traps because, they do not pay attention. Blackbeard's dog shit. Although he's not entirely F tier. I have a friend that plays Blackbeard, And, you know, if you have good aim, if you have equal or better aim than the person you're fighting, you just get a free kill on Blackbeard. But if you have bad aim, do not play Blackbeard. Although he's kind of like Glaz, where you sit on a window and just hope you get a free kill. That's a strat that I see a lot of Blackbeard players doing, and that's why he's good on Cafe and Consulate, where there's a lot of window play. Valk is super good, even after the nerf where you can't put him outside. Valk is still probably one of the best operators in the game. Just 3 cameras that you can put anywhere with better vision and better sound, and MPX, which is a headshot machine, although it's a pea shooter, does no damage. It can hit heads consistently, has an angled grip, and you have Nitro, just really good operator. Capitao brings a lot of utility to the table, but you have to stay alive. It is all active utility. You have the PAR and the M249, which are okay guns, but you also have 2 firebolts for area denial, 2 smokes to cover the plant, which can also make one-ways. They're the only smokes that can do that. And you have the option to bring a heart breach charge. So you can also open up 1 hatch or 1 vault hole in a wall, which is honestly insane that that's the amount of utility he has. But if you die versus Capitao, good luck. Your team just died. Your team is just basically without so much utility. Caveira is so utterly useless. She's only good against bronze players that don't know how to drone. That's it. And I am bronze. I've seen it happen time and time again. It's ridiculous. Hibana, I hate to say it, but Hibana's not that good right now. She really gets outshined by the other hard breach operators. Got to the point where Thermite's better than her. And that was crazy. Because when Ace came out, he made pretty much every other hard breacher useless. And we'll get to Ace in a sec, but Hibana is kind of still feeling the effects of that. She's only really good on sites that have a lot of hatch play, because that's the only thing that she excels at compared to all the other hard breachers. So, like Clubhouse Basement, Cafe, some Consulate sites. So like Basement and Split has a lot of hatches, but realistically, you're not going to play on Split that much. But yeah, Hibana's all right. Just whenever you are going to pick Hibana, keep in mind that you can play Ace. uh, Hibana's only really good for hatches. That's it. Echo's all right. No, I'm lying. He's not. He's really not that good. He Ever since they made his yokais unable to go invisible, it's just he's never been meta again. You can find some tricky spots where it's a lot harder to see him, but in the grand scheme of things, they're just gonna get spotted and immediately get shot. You're not gonna be providing much value. Jackal's roam clear is so good, and he has a really good gun. There's a reason why people hate him and ban him all the time. He is annoying. It is annoying how well he can roam clear. Mira, also really high ban rate, for good reason. One-way bulletproof mirror, one-way bulletproof glass. You can punch it now to make it opaque. You can't see through it. But, it's just she's still good. If you put it in a spot where the attackers have to run up to try and punch it, then you just got so much free pressure. It's insane. Um, I don't really need to elaborate that much. Ying is actually really, really good because they changed it to 4 Candelas. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna open up Siege. I'm gonna check. Does she have 4 Candelas? Oh, you can't check. What am I doing? But anyways, I'm pretty sure she has 4 Candelas now, plus 2 smokes. So that is 6 pieces of throwable utility. That is insane. That is absolutely positively insane. And her LMG is drum fed, so it doesn't take forever to reload. And it's got access to all the zoom scopes. So that is really good recipe for an entry fragger. Legion's alright. I don't think he's as good as Kapkan, but there's some situations where he's good, like clubhouse basement, where it just takes a while for the attackers to actually get into sight because there's so much shit they have to do before they can actually make a push. So then Legion's really good. The thing people mistake about Legion is Legion's not good at countering people who rush. He's good at countering people who take too long and then rush at the final moment. That's Legion's strength. So, C. I feel like he was a lot stronger when the 20-second meta was at an all-time high, but I think he's just, C, maybe B tier operator. The T9 is still pretty good though. No 1.5. Took that away. Kind of sad. Zafia's pretty friggin' good. Just pretty much a better Ashe. Even without the withstand, which thank God they removed that, she's still just a better Ashe. Her gun is so much better. She has 2 concussive grenades that can get rid of the ADSs and also give you intel because they detonate on proximity. She has access to it 2 times, although I don't really like using it. This is good. Oh, and the LMGE. I don't know if we're still in the LMG meta, but still, very strong. Ella's pretty alright. I don't know if she's kind of on the border because she has a deployable shield, and the concussive grenades are actually pretty strong. And her gun, if you can control it somewhat, you can kind of kill people sort of consistently. The real problem is her gun. You can't consistently get kills with Ella's gun, which is why I think she's C. That's why Kapkan's just a better trap operator. Because you get the tinnitus from the explosion, but Kapkan also has a gun that can consistently get kills. Dokubi's not that good. She's only really good if you pair it up with like a lion and a jackal and all that stuff. Just putting so much pressure onto the defenders. They got to worry about 3 pieces of tracking utility at once. That's the only situation where Dokubi is good. Vigil is a pretty good roamer if the attackers really love droning. If the attackers really love droning, Vigil is so good, but not everyone loves droning, especially in low elo. So I think I'm gonna have to put him B. No, he's the K1A in Impact's SMG12. He's still just really good regardless. But the problem with Vigil is you're a very selfish operator. You don't provide much. It's like a Cav, but except with Cav, you can just drone her out and she's useless. With Vigil, you can't do that. Lion, Lion's kind of the same situation with Dokkaebi, but he's kind of better because he has a fully automatic weapon with a 50 round drum. Um, and that's it. That's kind of it. And I guess his DMR is better than Dokkaebi's. The the 417 hits like a freight train. But that's it for Lion. Finka, I've seen so many people playing Finka now, and Finka's I'm tempted to put her in S tier. Honestly, I think Finka's S tier now because you get the ADS boost with the nanobots, so having a vertical grip on your LMG doesn't really matter. And you're able to run the LMG, or you're able to run the Gon 6 because you have an LMG. You're not gonna run out of bullets and have to swap to a secondary. So Finka has frags, the Gon 6, an LMG, an ADS boost, gives all of her teammates a shield, and actually no, it heals them, but it can also overheal. I forgot they changed that. She's an actual healer now. She's just, I forgot. Finka's really good. Alibi, she's got impacts and a good gun, and she can take a deployable shield. She has a shotgun secondary, but the Prismas don't really work on people like that are over level 50. It's just, I mean, she's kind of on the same. No, no, I'd say that's perfect. She goes right next to Lion. Um, Maestro, Maestro's really good. I don't think he's S tier anymore since you can punch the glass on it. But he's still really really strong operator, still good on a lot of sites. The plant denial on this guy is insane, and the Alda, you know, really nice gun. Shotgun secondary, and you have impact nades. Um, Maverick has literally no counters. I don't think Maverick is gonna ever not be S tier because there's no counter to Maverick except maybe like a run out C4 or just like a run out in general. But if Maverick has a flank watch covering his ass, the wall's getting open. There's no stopping it because he can just Maverick trick and get the Zof or the Buck or the Ash maybe if you have an Ash and you're dumb. Just get them to open it up, and that's yeah. Maverick's just no counters. I don't doesn't need a further explanation. Clash Clash is like Monty. It's just shield op, it's really not. Except Clash, you have a fully automatic SMG. And Monty, you just have the P9. Although the P9's pretty good. Pretty good secondary. But still, it's not the MP9 that Clash has, which is full auto. And now you can put any sort of one-time scope on it, which is really good. I like that. But, still, you probably want to pick an op that um, has a primary gun instead of a riot shield. How how much respect do riot shield players get in like COD? All right, now just apply that logic to Siege, and then you see why Clash is down here. Nomad is the queen of flank watch still, I think. The air jabs are so good. If you have the flank covered, it's just, no one's sneaking up on your ass if you're playing Nomad. I've been playing Nomad actually, very uh, effective, because they tear down the window and they want to do a run out, but then they hear the air jab and they're like, no, it's not worth. That's how it works. Kaid also, yeah, both of the I forget what this operation was called, but both of them in the S tier. Kaid, you can there's just so much creativity and flexibility with how you create with how you place the electric claw. There's just endless possibilities, infinite spots. It's just crazy. Kaid, it would be so disrespectful to put him any lower than S tier. Gridlock, Gridlock's not that good. I mean, she's alright. She's still alright flank watch, and she has smokes. She's really good if you want to do like a rush smoke plant with like a thermite and a gridlock. You just want to smoke down the whole place, throw down some tracks, maybe throw a ying in there. If you want to do that kind of take, then gridlock is really good. But other than that, she's just not the play. You're better off running Nomad if you want flank watch, or possibly even Zero for flank watch. And I've been playing Zero, and Zero's pretty alright for flank watch since you have the cams. But we'll get to that later. Mozzie is still pretty good, but he's not higher than Mute. I'd say. I'd say he's either slightly worse or on equal footing with Mute. Because on one hand, he's less versatile, but on the other, you're also getting a utility by taking utility from the attackers. But it's not always guaranteed that you can get all your pests hit. Nook is not that good. It's just like, I mean, I've seen some uses for Nook. It's I don't know. I can think of some situations where it could be useful. You're just sneaking by while someone's on cams, but it's not really that consistent. It's like Blackbeard. So, it's just you just have to hope. You just have to hope that they don't hear you and that, you know, Warden's not that good. He's the only reason that Warden isn't F tier is because Ying is super good, and he's a direct counter to Ying. But the problem is, with attacker repick, they can just pick off Ying if they see the Warden. So, it's just really not worth picking Warden. It's not worth it. Amaru, I have a friend that loves playing Amaru, and he gets kills, but it's not consistent. Different friend than the one who plays Glaz that is inconsistent with getting kills. Sometimes you Amaru in, you kill 3 people. Sometimes you hit a frost mat. It's all down to chance, and that's why Amaru is not that good. I mean, okay, she's not F tier. She's like with Warden, I'd say. Goyo, I've been playing Goyo. I just bought him this season, and I've been having a lot of fun with Goyo. You can block off drone holes with the canisters, which is just if you place it in the right spot, you can block off a drone hole, and since it's bulletproof, they have to use an explosive, and it's just really nice being able to have that freedom. And obviously, it's also faster than smoke. You just shoot the canister as opposed to throwing it. The only problem is you don't have a shotgun secondary, or shotgun primary, SMG secondary, like smoke. So you can't set up sight. Um, what was I also gonna say? You can't set up sight, and you don't have a deployable shield. So that's something that Smoke and Tachanka both have that Goyo doesn't. And that's why he's not that good, but I'd argue that he's still B tier just because of the creativity of the canister placements. Callie's so bad. I, the only reason you pick Callie is for the gadget, because her primary gun is so bad. They should just give her a DMR, because it's just no one likes playing Callie, but you kind of have to since Thatcher's banned all the time. That's the thing. You have to play Callie, but it's so unfun, and Ubisoft really needs to just give her a DMR primary. Please. Callie DMR. Wamai's alright. He's good on some specific sites, but he's no Jaeger. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. I pressed right click, left click, same time. But he's no Jaeger. So B tier for Wamai. Iana's actually really good. Same situation as Finka. You get frags and the Gon 6. Only the G36 and the ARX are not as well, no, they're still really good guns. The ARX really fast time to kill, but you don't have the same liberties as running an LMG because you don't have to reload. With the ARX, you have a really small mag and a really long reload, so it's debatable whether you should run the Gon 6, but you still have the option for a Gon 6 and frags, which is really good, and you also get unlimited droning. Iana's pretty good. A tier, solid. Oryx is a 2-speed defender with the speed of a 3-speed because he can just zoom around the map at incredible speeds. And Oryx is really fun to play. I've played some of him, but he does not provide much. He really doesn't. I just remembered he has like a really good gun. T5 with the 1.5 scope and the Bailiff secondary. That is actually really good. D tier. Oryx D tier. Oh yeah, feels like he's better than all these. Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Ace, S tier. There's no other argument there. Ace he used to be able to do everything before they took away his smokes, which honestly was a really good change. He is kind of frustrating that Ace could just carry around because he also has the AK-12. He can entry frag because he has an AK-12, which is friggin' insane. And you can also bring breaching charges, so he can also do soft destruction. It's insane. It's crazy. But, yeah, Ace, S tier. Love playing Ace. Melusi, Melusi's not that good anymore. She's still got a decent gun and a decent gadget, and she's a 3-speed, but she's He's not. Actually, no. She doesn't deserve B tier. I think she's A. Um, Zero. I've been playing a bit of Zero, and the cams are really good for flank watch. Uh, you can just kind of place them on common flank spots and see if, you're getting flanked, and it's pretty good, I'd say, but definitely not as good as Nomad, and, not as passive as Gridlock. You have to actually be on cams for Zero to work, and also you have the utility destruction, which is nice. Aruni, Aruni's S tier, I think. Aruni's really good because you're passive, where you can just make shotgun holes with your fists. Really, really good for site setup. You basically put an ADS on a door, and it recharges after, 30 seconds, and it damages attackers as they go in, as they walk through it. And you get a Roni, which is a headshot machine, or you get the DMR, which can do some pretty hefty damage, actually. You get the 1.5 on it, but, just Roni, fully automatic headshot machine. Pretty, pretty freaking good. Flores, I have not played Flores yet. I have not bought him, but from what I've seen, he's a pretty good alternative to Twitch. Um, if they, and he's also a really good counter to Jaeger and Wamai if you need to take out a shield, because you can, because it doesn't count as a projectile, you can just drive up and hop onto the shield, stick to it, and then that's the way of getting rid of their shield. He's really good as like a repick operator, you know? Like if you see that they have a Jaeger and a smoke and you know that they're going to do a shield strat with ADSs, you just repick the Flores instead of like a sledge, which your frags are going to get countered by the ADSs. You just repick the Flores. Thunderbird is really good. Um, you get portable. You get 3 dock stim stations that basically give you a nearly endless supply of HP just for free, and you get an AR on defense, a lot of which is something a lot of defense operators wish they had. And I don't know what secondary gadget Thunderbird has, but I doubt it takes away from her S tier placement. Osa, Osa. The thing about Osa is you can't really do much on Osa's. Osa's only really good if you're already winning. If you're already winning the round, then Osa's really good. But if you're losing, then like, what are you gonna do? Place your shield in a bad spot where you're just gonna sit there? If you have map control, the shields come in clutch. But if you don't, well, you're useless. Osa's really good at getting the plant down because you have the shield and you have the smokes. But other than that, she's really not that useful. I just put her in a B tier. Maybe C. No, B. I'll put her in B. Thorn. Where do you go, Thorn? Thorn's kind of like a worse Ela, but like a slightly more threatening Ela that is less consistent. But like realistically, when have you seen anyone died with Thorn Trap? It's really not something that happens. The thing about Thorn is you place it like on a window, and it's not meant to kill the first person that hops in. It's like, like a Monty and a Thermite, and they both vault through the window. And Monty sets off the thorn trap, but Thermite gets killed by it. It's like in situations like that, but that's so very niche to where I don't think Thorn is that good. I think I'm gonna just put her right next to Ela. It's like she's kind of just worse, Ela. But like there's some situations where I'd argue you could pick Thorn. They both have deployable shields. There's that. But whatever. Azami Azami's kind of like a more flexible Castle, but she's a lot easier to deal with than Castle. Because Castle, you have to melee the barricades 12 times, which takes a while. Azami, it's just 3 hits. But I don't. I feel like it might be too early to actually judge her strength, but the season is almost over, and I feel like I've seen a good deal of Azami. I feel like she's a pretty solid B tier. I feel like that's fair. Just and honestly, that's really good on Ubisoft for making a pretty balanced operator just on release. Not underpowered, not extremely overloaded and overpowered, just they fixed the bugs that made her broken and you have a balanced op. Good on you, Ubi. The game is heading in the right direction. I don't have my webcam on, but I'm giving you a thumbs up. But anyway, that's it for the video. This is the whole tier list. So, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.